I don't know what happened, but I spent the last 20 minutes making a video and it got lost. I don't know where the hell it went. One of those technical difficulties. And I sat there and I passionately gave it my all. And no video. What the hell? What the hell? But let me go and make that video now. And basically, what I want to say and emphasize that we're going to keep Obamacare. Let's make it and turn it into a Medicare for all system. When it comes to the issue of healthcare, I'm an unyielding asshole. I want the model that Great Britain has, which is the National Health Service, which is truthfully socialized medicine. There are other countries that has a similar system, but Great Britain is pretty much the country to have it. Um, I believe Portugal, Spain, Italy, New Zealand, and maybe Greenland have something similar to what they have in Great Britain, where the government directly owns the hospitals and directly salaries the doctors and the nurses. And and that's the system I prefer. It's been in the UK since 1948, and I like their approach. And I really do. That is the system I favor. But I would settle for the modest Canadian system, which is basically like our healthcare system, but it's like they take It's like if we went with the way Canada is going right now, it would be like if our Medicare and Medicaid system were one entity and expanded over the entire population. That's still a pretty good deal, but I prefer the British model because it's more socialist, and I prefer the more socialist approach. We need to take as much profit out of healthcare as humanly possible. I make no apologies for saying that. And I really, really, really hate incrementalism because it's a fanciful way of not getting shit done. And it's done like that on purpose. Um, Obamacare was considered socialism by Republicans, most notably in the Tea Party movement. I opposed Obamacare initially because it was not socialistic enough. Um, while there's no Bernie Sanders, unfortunately, to be sworn in January, we're stuck with Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Um, Obamacare, which was originally Romney Care in Massachusetts, was a lukewarm cop out by the Democrats to choose a plan that was created by the Heritage Foundation, which would prevent any attempts at single payer. That was their intention, people. While Biden is ideologically opposed to Medicare for all, and he is, and he promises to veto the damn legislation, which he will if it comes to his desk to sign. He claims that he's going to kind of revive Obamacare with a robust public option. Given the reality, leftists, here's our chance to bully the left, bully Biden by the left. Don't disappoint me. Let's start. Let's start doing this. Let's start right now. I want socialized medicine, pure and simple, but I know it's not going to happen. So what should the left do instead? Instead of the public options, which was presented a decade ago, to make people like me all happy about the Affordable Care Act, it just the economic libertarians, the neocons, the religious rights, the Tea Party, the MAGAs, you name it, they all started stamping their feet and crying, socialized medicine, oh, socialized medicine, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. Obama made a pussy ass attempt to give the public option into the healthcare plan, which at a minimum the public option was the only way you can force private insurance companies to lower their prices. And the very fact that the right wing opposed this public option means that they don't want to go and lower the cost of medicine. There's a chance to do it in the private sector. I did not support this particular approach, but this particular approach would have worked if you would have had a public option to threaten the private insurance companies, to bully the private insurance companies to lowering their costs. But you know what? The Republican parties are bought and paid for by private health insurance companies. And for that matter, many Democrats are too. So, I mean, unfortunately, there are too few Democrats who are for Medicare for all. Now, on the upside, recently, last week with the election, pretty much every Democrat that was running on Medicare for all won. And most Democrats that were opposed to Medicare for all were the ones that lost the elections. But to hear it from some corporate Democrats like that bitch in Virginia, Abigail Spanberg, she claims that people like AOC and Bernie Sanders were the reason why the Democrats majority were getting slim. Well, if it means getting rid of a couple of fucking corporate Democrats, then yes, I don't have a problem with that. You hear that, Abigail Spanberg? You hear what I said? I have no problem with that. I didn't stutter. I didn't stutter, Debbie Wasserman Schultz. I didn't stutter, Hillary Clinton. The public option was the only way to do this. Now, I do think I got in a little angry mode there. I do think that that about a decade ago, if Obama and the Democrats were more clever and did not want to go with full scale Medicare for all, but wanted to have some kind of a health care with a little bit of public teeth and a good way to make sure you forced insurances to lower their prices, the best way to have done it was to have a Medicare buy-in. That would have been an easier sell than a public option, because there's a lot of senior citizens. There's a lot of people who are close to senior citizens that wouldn't mind tapping into that. Medicare buy-in for those between 50 and 65. You want to make it voluntary at first? That's fine. I mean, don't mean test it, but do make it voluntary and provide as generous as possible at a low cost. So everybody who's between the age of 50 and 65, including myself, could sign up to that thing and actually assault the insurance company. Yes, I want to destroy the insurance companies. I want them to go. I want them to be weakened. I want them to collapse like a deck of cards. Yeah, I do. I have the Medicare buy-in, increase the pool. Companies would love to go and encourage their employees to go into a Medicare buy-in so they can leave their expensive, shitty healthcare plan that where they're paying high premiums and not really getting enough out of it. Do it. The companies would be grateful for this. I've often said that there will be a time that even the staunchest capitalist corporatists would favor socialized medicine. You would think so. As soon as you get the 50 to 65-year-olds in there, then you can make it so that everybody up to the age of 26 will be covered, and then from 26 to 50 eventually cover that. And then you can eventually, maybe in 20 some years, you can have a Medicare for all system. I wish it could be done sooner, but I think that would be a blueprint for what needs to be done to make sure there is a Medicare for all system available to all Americans. I wish it could be done the way it is in Great Britain with a National Health Service, but it will make us kind of like the Canadian system. It will be a while, but it can be done. And I think that having a Medicare buy-in that's voluntary at first, and then add the young people to it, and then eventually kind of have it so where you can phase private insurance completely out of the system. And yeah, I'd be glad when private insurance is gone. I'd be glad when they're collapsed. I'd be glad when some of those CEOs are in the poorhouse. If I had it my way, I would love to see some of those CEOs of the big private insurance companies put in prison for the people they've killed over the years. Yes, I said it. In the words of Mark Levin in the opposite direction. Yeah, I said it. But anyway, and the United States can join the family of democratic Western nations that have universal health care. Voila. If you like what you heard, press like and comment. If you were triggered, well, comment anyway. Feel free to share the content on this channel. And as a First Amendment absolutist, it's my duty to inform you that if you have a platform and you're passionate about something, utilize it. If you don't have a platform, create one and utilize it, because we're all the muckrakers of our time. And most importantly, subscribe to this channel. And until next time, I want to let you know that I am American social democracy. And until next time, peace and Bernie Sanders for president in the year 2024.